Today's latest jobs report is proof again of a labor market that has been resilient and often stronger than expected. But many Americans don't feel the economy is strong overall, or helping them or their families. A number of polls have shown this, including one from the New York Times this week that found 51% of Americans believe the country's economic conditions are poor right now. So, why the disconnect? There seem to be quite a few reasons. Economics correspondent Paul Salman explains. I think if you talk to the average person on the street, they will say the economy is not doing well, and I tend to agree. But how can they say that if the economy has been doing so well? Low unemployment, inflation easing, the word she coined for what she was hearing, vibe-session. It is a disconnect between consumer sentiment, economic data, and why people feel bad about the economy, despite the metrics telling them the economy is doing okay. In fact, the Consumer Sentiment Index has noticeably improved, says one economist. But many Americans say they are unhappy with the economy. Why the disconnect? The key reason for a lot of people, prices are still higher than they were pre-COVID. But lower inflation doesn't mean lower prices. It just means prices are rising more slowly than they were. Cereal prices barely budged this past year, but rose more than 25% during the pandemic, and still are not back to where they were pre-COVID. Same for eggs, which nearly tripled, but at today's average of $2.50 a dozen, double what they were pre-COVID. And food manufacturers themselves have pushed prices higher than their costs, says Scanlon. This is so-called greedflation. Then there is shrinkflation, firms charging the same for what they're selling, but giving you less. A box of garbage bags, for example, used to contain 50 bags, now 30. A roll of paper towels, 168 sheets, now 120. And the price of a roll of toilet paper has stayed the same, but the number of sheets has gone from 352 to 308. So while the economy may be doing well in terms of the numbers, many Americans are feeling the impact of these price increases in their daily lives. This is one of the reasons why there is a disconnect between the perception of the economy and the reality of the economic data.